If you're under the age of 18, the content of this video is not intended for you. Please stop watching now. Hey YouTube, it's Audrey, and I'm here with the second installment of the Paper Dolls for Poet collab here on YouTube, where every Saturday morning at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, we share projects that we have made with things that you have to layer to create a total image. So a lot of things with either layered stamps or layered dies that have lots of pieces that you put together to form a quote doll or a figure or a scene. So I also want to enter this into this week's theme of Christmas in July for hashtag 2crafters1design. And of course, hashtag Satmore Makes. Satmore Makes is hosted by Jillian Norwood. Hashtag 2crafters1design is hosted by Mo, who is Mo Creations, who's Melissa. Girliest Cards, who's Gloria. And You See Why I'm a Diva, who is Lisa. And then finally, Poetspice hosts the Paper Dolls for a Poet. I will have all the participants in the Paper Dolls for Poet collab and all the channels for hashtag 2crafters1design and hashtag Satmore Makes their host in the description box below. So for week 2, as I said, I'm going with the theme Christmas in July. And I've used some of the Spellbinders, Color Real Cardstock, and Cranberry. Also, I used the Treasured Cardstock from Spellbinders. You can't see the label, but there's 5 different finishes in here. This is really good cardstock, cuts really easy. I love it. Then I've used the Spellbinders Merry Everything, and this was a freebie last year, I think, for being in the club, the total club for their monthly clubs. Then I went to the Arches. I'm sorry for glare. I went to the Arches, so I'm using the Essential Arches. But then I'm using this new color block accent arches that came out earlier this past spring. I think it was in May, and it came out in conjunction with the weekend. No, not the Weekender, with the birthday box. So it came out a little earlier, but with their Just Eat Cake box, it was an add-on edition that you could buy for that. So I used that. And then the star of this show today is this Cocoa Wonderland, a set from Spellbinders. I got this last Christmas and didn't get a chance to use it. I mean, I couldn't wait to get this when I saw it. I thought it was just too cute. And then I never did get to use it for Christmas. So now here we are, Christmas in July. And so I wanted to show just before, it's like, this has a lot of little pieces that you piece together, but it's pretty easy to do. And I just want to say, especially with stuff like the Treasured Cardstock, you can use pieces, scrap pieces, because there's so many little pieces that you could cut out. This was a scrap that I still had on my table, and from a card I made a few weeks ago. I had cut out the balloon thing. Well, there were strips in between, so I used those to cut out like the ornaments, the trees. So keep those scraps. I know a lot of people are like, I hate the scraps, but when you do these little bitty projects, they really come in handy, and you don't have to cut into another larger sheet. But without further ado, here is my project for this time. I went with my favorite color scheme, the black gold, and then I added the white. And one thing I did not bring because I don't have the packaging, but I used some of Spellbinders glitter foam. I think they only still sell it in the white, maybe the white and black. They used to have all different colors. but I whipped that out. I had not used that in a long time. So actually what this is a mug. This is the beard. I did the mustache in plain white cardstock for some contrast. Then the nose was out of the cranberry cardstock. I just took a blended brush that had pink on it and blended the cheeks. They were white cut out, and then the eyebrows. There is a piece of the foam because you really can't see it. I was hoping that I would get a chance to make one without the decorations on it, but I didn't have time. But there is like the whipped cream foam up to the top, so you could also do it without these extras on here, and then you would be able to see that it looks like a cup of cocoa with whipped cream on top. But anyway, the whipped cream, which you could see little pieces in the back behind the trees, and the beard are out of the glitter foam. Then, of course, I use the gold glitter cardstock here and then plain black cardstock. So you layer all the face on, then you layer the trimming on, then you have layered pieces for the ornament for the present, and then the tree with the trunk, the ornaments, the star, and then you have trees in the back. You have like the cone tree, and you have another tree. So that is the front, and I decided not to put a sentiment on here because I thought it was busy enough with everything going on. Then I just took a second piece of the cardstock. I scored it so that it will fold up like that. On the inside, that's where I put the Merry Everything, and then you can just put your signature and your year. If you want to, you could add something here. I might add like a star or a ornament or something right here just to give it a little bit more interest here in the blank spaces. And that is my card for this time for the paper doll for Poet Collab, and also for hashtag 2 Crafters 1 Design, theme Christmas in July, and hashtag Satmore Makes. Thank you so much for watching, and you all have a great and a blessed day. Bye-bye.